YouTube, what is going on? Chris with Journos, Comments of Pop Culture, guys. It is Friday, so here I am live doing a comic book canon pre-show. For those watching on the rewind, let's give it a couple minutes. Let some folks hop on in. We got an unboxing to do today, as well as some comic book canon stuff to talk about, obviously. Isaac. First one in. What's going on today, Isaac? Happy Friday, man. The link is below, guys, for the Comic Book Canon Show, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Links down in the description. Also, guys, I'm going to be here until about 5 o'clock, and then you guys should head over at 5 o'clock to the Boy Who Had Sevens channel. He's doing an awesome live show this evening as well. Nick G, what is going on? Basically, Matt with the Boy Who Had Seven had a I think it was 10 episodes of showing off his top 100 9.8s. I have one 9.8 in my collection. For this guy to have 100 in his collection is just pretty amazing. So we got to watch all of them. And he left 3 clues in different videos. And if you were able to gather all the clues up, you can get entered into a contest drawing that he'll be announcing this evening. So when I'm done here, I'll be going over there, and then I'll be hopping over to Comic Book Canon at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, to meet up with my co-host Jeff to do our weekly Comic Book Canon show. So let's give it a couple more minutes, guys. Let some more folks get in again. I have an unboxing today, so I'll be opening this up with you, and we'll just talk, man. It's been a rough week. Obviously, represent hashtag all week long. It's been a tough week, man, for a lot of us. And yeah, but it's also been a week, at least on my channel, with a lot of interesting topics and discussion. So happy to have dove into some of those. For those that caught my or didn't catch my, I think it was my Tuesday or Wednesday live stream that I did, diving further into industry labels and the controversy surrounding that. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out. Lots of good stuff. I've talked more about my project that I am really trying to dive into, which will be more like a documentary project, discussing labels and precedent in the industry and where we're at today. This is going to be a long journey, but I am pushing forward with it. Apple, what's going on? Discovery Bay, Pedro. Are they? No slab unboxing today. Just a comic haul from my comic shop. So really excited. I do believe these are some books that I've been waiting for a very, very long time. Indeed. Again, guys, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, link below to our Comic Book Canon show. We got some Star Wars news, some Mandalorian news. We got some Spider-Verse cinematic feature news. Obviously, we got we'll be talking more about Chadwick and what's been going on. You know, some bright lights amidst tragedy that we'll be discussing as well. So and we'll be having a special guest on tonight, Matt Forge with Pressable Defects, for our props and slots segment tonight on the Comic Book Canon show. Mark, what is going on? Oh yeah. Mark says the next DC Fandom 9/12, not live, going to be able to watch and panel whenever you want. So much better. Yeah, hopefully we'll be getting some more good news out of that. So all right, guys, let's I'll wait one more minute before I dive into opening this box. And if you guys have any questions, any hot topics you guys want to bring up before I start opening this box, and then feel free. Again, I'll be headed over to the Boy Who Had Sevens channel after I leave here. to check out an awesome live show. So you guys should hop over there if you aren't subscribed to The Boy Who Had 7. Just YouTube search The Boy Who Had number 7. Okay, Google search him, find him, give him a sub. He does awesome work. He's an amazing guy. And then from there, we'll be doing the Comic Book Canon show. Isaac, your last question. I think I'm going to answer that by this when I unbox this box. So I think you'll get your answer in a minute here. Absolutely, man. I can't believe it's Friday again. Like I said, it was a rough week. I got a lot of cool stuff done. I did a video yesterday, guys, talking about the BCW showcase frames. You guys could see the books right there, hanging on the wall. Still, there's my Black Panther and then my Amazing Spider-Man 39 hanging on the wall in the comic book showcase cases. They're really awesome. Go check out that video if you haven't seen it yet that I posted yesterday. There's a direct link. Something was going on with BCW's website this morning, though. I noticed that all the links to their website were like failing. So I don't know if they were doing like maintenance on their website or whatnot. Double S, what is going on? Devo, appreciate it, man. Like I said, all week long, it's not about me right now. It's bigger than all of us. And I want to keep putting that message out there for sure. So yeah, so let's see. When this clock hits 7, if we don't have any more questions, I'll get into opening this box. Got my trusty knife. My room's in a bit of a, you guys can't really see. You can see a few books stacked up here. I got books. I'm completely disorganized right now. I got books like all over that I need to get organized and put away. And what am I going to do? I'm going to open some more books in the meantime to get even more backtrack. But let's go ahead and get into this, guys. This is a box from mycomicshop.com. So I've been obviously talking about them a lot lately. And I'm just going to say, you know, like for those that know me, I try to be positive. But at the same time, you guys probably know that I speak out against things if I feel, you know, justified. And I'm really, really done with Midtown right now. I've been a loyal fan of Midtown for years, 8 years. And it's been a disappointment after disappointment, mainly with their customer service. And I don't ever want to throw any business under the bus, but from starting to have issues with them and from going to my comic shop over the last few months, like like here's what I'll say. My comic shop, what I'm finding is look, Midtown Comics has great deals. They have great sales. Often, you know, nothing like crazy in terms of the inventory. But if you're a collector of runs and you like modern books, finding modern books for sale, Bishner, what's going on, man? They have amazing sales, and you know, they have their previews where you get 35% off and everything. And their product is decent, and the prices that they offer are decent, but you go over to my comic shop, and I've been noticing you get basically the same type of product for around the same price. And what's really just done it for me is their customer service. My comic shop's customer service is amazing. Every time I call, they answer right away, and they'll sit there and take as much time as they need to answer my questions. When I call first off, the window to call to call Midtown is extremely limited, especially for me being on the West Coast, because they close their phone lines down at 1 o'clock my time, and it's really hard to get to somebody. A lot of times they don't even answer. Then you leave a message, they never call you back. They will never call you back. They even said that in email, and this was a supervisor that said we don't do callbacks. Every time I email my comic shop, they email me back right away. When I email Midtown, literally, I'll go 2 weeks without hearing a reply. And I'll have to respond again and email them again and again before I actually get a reply. And when they do reply, they don't even answer my questions half the time. And I'm just done. And right now, they basically they canceled a bunch of my previews orders items because you know how a lot of new books have been pushed back because of the pandemic and the diamond shutdown. So especially Marvel, but DC as well. They've been, you know, something was supposed to be released in May. It got pushed back to like September. So what Midtown was doing was they were canceling a lot of the books that I had ordered and paid for, and they refunded the book. First off, I didn't even get notification. They canceled about 12 of my books out of 3 different orders. I only got notification for one $2.50 book, and that I was going to get a refund. I responded in an email saying, what does this mean? Am I going to get store credit? Or they said I was going to get credit. Am I going to get store credit? Am I going to get a refund on my purchasing method, my payment method? They never responded back. Then I go into my account and I see that they canceled like 12 books. And what they did was they refunded a credit card that is no longer valid. And I guess that they supposedly went through to the bank, which is the bank issue, but I don't even have any information to that credit card anymore. And when I told Midtown this, they kept on giving me the runaround. And it's like, I have, as a businessman myself, I have never been in a situation where if you make a payment with any type of business and something happens where they have to refund you, they refund the payment method, not some random old card that's been sitting on the account. I've never experienced that. And I said, look, the way to handle this is to at least say, look, I understand, how can we make this right? I'm a businessman. You got to understand customer first. They should have offered me at minimum, whatever, it was 12 books, say $2 books, 24 bucks, say, we're going to offer you $24 store credit or something like that. I would have been completely happy. Or they could have said, okay, we're going to issue the books for once they release, and we're just going to send them out to you. Something. Look, over the 8 years, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars, and they basically lost me because of like 20 bucks. Well, because of their horrible customer service, really. But anyway, so that's kind of it in a nutshell, guys. Comic Mag Musing, what's going on? B-Rame. That's it in a nutshell. I value customer service. And I think all businesses should. Transparency, great customer service, communication with the customers. My comic shop just has been killing it when it comes to taking care of their customers. And I've been supporting them because of it. So I'm getting all my previews orders from my comic shop from now on. I will never get a previews order from Midtown Comics ever again. Will I ever, if there's ever a book that I need, and if Midtown has it, will I make a purchase from them? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not going to completely say that I'm not. But I guarantee they will not have any type of pull list order or previews order from me ever again. So with that being said, guys, let's get into, yes, Isaac. All right, you ready for this? I finally got it. My 3 Jokers, #1. I am so happy to. I'm reading this tonight, and I know my son is too. I got 2 copies. Oh yes, I was a little nervous, but I got my 2 copies. I got the same cover just because I was like, I didn't want to fight over my son, like which one we both wanted. So hopefully he's over here playing video games and he sees he's happy. Yes. Finally. Nice. All right. We got some Betty Page. This is the cosplay variant. I usually get the ones with the Betty Page picture. That's actually her. But I thought this cosplay was dope. She's pretty spot on, Betty Page there. All right, I just got the Marvel's preview book. All right, guys, this is a good one. This one is hot right now. Man, what did I see? A raw sold for over $50. And this is the Spawn 309, the Gunslinger variant. This made it in the top 10. I think it was number 4 on the best-selling books of the week. Highest raw was over $50. Really happy to have this book. Got to throw this guy in a Mylar. Yeah. Awesome stuff. So we got here. Isaac says, I'm going to love it. I'm going to love the story for the Three Jokers. Bishner says he had one complaint about the Three Jokers was some of the bubbles made you feel like you need glasses. You know what, Bishner? I read with glasses on now. I've had reading glasses for a long time, and for a long time I said I don't need to use them, but now I do. I have to read with glasses on. So yeah. That might mean that at least there's a substantial amount of dialogue in the book, right? Marcus's Muse, what's going on? All right, what do we got next, guys? We got ooh, yeah, we got some goodies. All right, we got some Maestro #1. See, I've been waiting a long time for these guys. You know what's ridiculous too? You know what's ridiculous is that I'm still waiting on 3 previews orders from Midtown that I ordered before this previews order from my comic shop. So happy to finally have my hands on this. This has been a hot selling book and a hot selling run so far. All right, and we got Batgirl 48. Now I'm forgetting the art. Is this Middleton's not doing Batgirl? Is he still? Let me see. I forget because I love a lot of these DC variants that they're doing. And you know, they'll switch. Like Jenny Friesen was doing Wonder Woman, but then she switched to Catwoman, I think. And then Middleton was doing Batgirl, but then he was doing he went over and did some Aquamans. I forget who this was, and of course they don't have. Do they not have it in here? Oh, here we go. Cover. Variant cover. Well, I know this isn't a Dodson cover. Is this a Dodson cover? It does not look like a. Does anybody know? It doesn't look like Dodson style. But this is the B variant. Anybody remember who this artist was? Beautiful cover. And I'm really, guys, I don't know about you all. I've talked about this before. I'm really loving the paper that DC is using, where it's not magazine. It has more of that newspaper texture, but it's obviously different. I don't know the exact proper term, but look at just how it's thicker than the magazine paper, and look how the colors pop still. Just beautiful. I'm loving what DC is doing. Indeed, indeed. Devo says he's waiting on an order of Immortal Hulk. Ah. Yeah, that was such a good run in terms of a fan perspective. All right, guys, and now the rest of these are DC variants. So we have Wonder Woman. Beautiful cover. 760. Look at that. I'm going to take this one out of the bag, too. Can't wait to put all these in some beautiful Mylar. This is the card stock. Oh, man, the card stock with the paper. that DC is using. Just love it, man. Oh, I love it. DC is killing the aesthetics right now. 100%. Okay, so yeah, this is a Middleton cover. So Middleton went over to Wonder Woman. Look at that. Just freaking beautiful. And Friesen went over to Catwoman. One more time. And let's see. Let's show the one. Here's Wonder Woman 761. Look at that. Wow. Look, there's so much hype right now with this 1 in 25, 1 in 50, 1 in 100 variants and all this stuff. We have Marvel pushing out these books with 30, 40 variants. Eternals 1 is having like 30 plus variants. Spider-Man number 50 is having like 30, 40 variants. But here's the thing. And I'm not knocking anyone. I'm not. Look, I understand that, you know, like the 1 in 100s are gaining more speculation because of the rarity in terms of smaller print run, so to say. But for me, it's all about the cover art. I don't care how many have been printed. If you could get a beautiful cover like this for cover price, or in this case, when you do previews and you get them at 35% off, that's all that's what matters to me. If you like variants because you like collecting for amazing covers, for me, it's really not about the value. Now, if they end up picking up value over time, obviously that's awesome. But it's really for me about getting that cover that I think looks amazing, that stands out. And that's why usually, you know, I didn't get the Spawn McFarlane variant, Gunslinger variant, because of hype around it. When I buy my Spawn books, I always get the McFarlane cover because I love McFarlane art, and I would rather have Spawn, his baby. I'd rather have my Spawn books with McFarlane covers. So even though both of those books, the 309s, are pretty hot right now, you know, the Gunslinger variant has been going for a higher dollar amount, and I'm just happy with the cover. So here's one more. Here's Batman 96. Amazing. Look at that. Bad Wolf got those Wonder Woman covers too. Yep. Beautiful, huh? Let's take this Batman out. Batman 96. Look at that. I like this suit too. Look at Catwoman's like kind of like more tactical looking. Did I say Batwoman? I meant Catwoman. Did I say Batwoman? Catwoman? I don't remember. Look at that though. That's a sick suit. Card stock. So who's the artist? I forget who the artist was on this one too. Matina. Matina. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, Mike. This is the B variant, cover B card stock. Card stocks were like 50 cents more than or I guess they're $1 more. They're $4.99, but then you still get the 35% off, so they end up you know, being like 370, somewhere around there. Yes, J Cross. It's the B cover. Look at that. Oh, and again, I'm not paying 20, 25, $30 for these beautiful covers. You pay cover price, and if you buy them a previews pre-sale, you get them for even cheaper than cover price. So, man, that is my unboxing today, guys. Some really awesome stuff. I'm so glad to have finally gotten some of my preview stuff. I'm so happy to finally gotten 3 Jokers. I'm going to be reading it tonight. I'm sure my son will be reading his copy tonight too. And then we'll probably be talking about it. Yep. Double S got a lot of variant cover art books signed last year at Fan Expo Dallas. Missed the opportunity back 2017 to get some Spawn cover signed by Todd. Yeah. You know, I'm not big. And I've said this before. I'm not big on signatures on my comic books. As a sports fan and baseball fan who collected baseball cards and sports cards, who would go to baseball games and bring a baseball or bring your glove and you go down and try to get the players to sign the balls before the game. I love autographs in that sense. But for some reason, for me as a collector of comics, it never really translated over. I don't really like seeing a signature on my book. You know what I like more is the signature on the front splash page under the cover. I like that a lot more. Obviously, you can't really show it off, but I will say, if there was somebody that I wanted to sign my book besides Stan Lee, I mean, obviously, how can you? I would never deny a Stan Lee signature. But if there was someone else that I would say, yeah, I want to get a book signed by this person, it would be Todd McFarlane. I would say Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee are two artists that I wouldn't mind signing my books. And who's to say that I wouldn't mind having any famous artists signing my books? I just don't really prefer it. But that's just me. I thought about getting all the Joker War issues, but I'll probably wait for trade paperback, get them in the collection, read them that way. From Heroes to Icons, Three Jokers is the bomb. So much good feedback, man. I haven't heard one bad thing about Three Jokers yet. Nick and Comics G, Three Jokers is great. And yes, I'm not into signatures on my books. Right? I'm glad I'm not the only one, for sure. Raider Bear. Matina is doing all Batman. Yep, the cardstock Batmans. Jimenez is doing the Batman 1 in 25s. They're fantastic. Yeah. And Jim Lee's signature is very nice. I have a Liefeld signature. I have a Liefeld signature on a Youngbloods 2? Youngbloods 2, I believe, yeah. And I have a handful of Ron Lim signatures because he's local to me and I get to run into him. Well, obviously I haven't ran into him this year because the pandemic and everything, but I gave a couple of Ron Lim signatures away as well. Forged signatures, yeah. Anybody who forges a signature is a lame-o. I mean, come on. Do. Isaac has a Spawn #1 signed by Todd. Yeah, Todd has a very being an artist too. I'm very particular about signatures. Todd has an pretty awesome signature. I think it looks nice. Yeah, I saw somebody posted on Instagram last week of a piece that they did. Who was it? Oh shoot, who posted this piece? And the guy, his name was Chris. The artist's name was Chris, and he signed his name. That was like, oh, shoot, man, like cut his signature out and let me frame that. His signature was beautiful. I love an amazing, beautiful, artistic looking signature. I know that might sound kind of weird too, but Zexigo, I got a couple Zek signatures, but not on comics, on his prints. I have one hanging up right over here. You guys can't see it, but it's a Secret Wars #8, 11 by 17 Mike Zeck signature. And I also got a Captain America. I forget which issue cover it is, but I can't grab it right now, but it's over here, and that's signed by Mike Zeck as well. So I like the posters being signed. It's just the books, right? So that's a good example for me. I would probably take a poster or an art print with an artist signature over them actually signing a book. Kid Collector, what's going on? Oh yeah, so Kid Collector just saw New Mutants and thoroughly enjoyed it. Good to know. I will be waiting for a video or for on demand for New Mutants, although I might be paying that $30 to watch Mulan with the family. I think that would be worth it to watch. That as a family. We might do that tonight. So we'll see. From Here's the Icon says he would love to have Ron Lim signature. Yeah, I have a Silver Surfer number 50 signed by Ron Lim. I think it's the third print black cover. I think it's a black and silver. I have I gave away a Deadpool signed by him. I have another Deadpool, I believe, signed by him. And I have a Captain America signed by him from when he the work that he did on Captain America in the 80s. And then I gave away a Captain America signed by him to fellow YouTuber, a Genome. And I have a couple Spider-Mans. I have Spider-Man Unlimited #1 signed by Ron Lim. I have another limited series Venom. I forget what it was. It was a maroon looking cover, not Lethal Protector, but it was another one signed by Ron Lim. I have Captain America #1, One Shot Road to Civil War. I have Infinity War #1 signed by Ron Lim, as well as a True Believers Infinity War signed by Ron Lim. Or did I give that one away too? I think I might have gave that one away to Don Comic Book Junkie in his contest winnings for my last contest. Anyways, yeah. Ron Lim, he's a native to Northern California, and he comes and hangs out at the cons, and does some signings at some of the local shops. So he doesn't charge either. Oh yeah, I also have an Infinity Crusade. I remember the first time I met Ron Lim was at a con, probably 7 years ago, and he was at a con in Sacramento, and I had ironically just bought Infinity Crusade #1 from a dealer at this con. And paid a couple bucks, few bucks for it or whatever. And then I came up and I saw Ron Lim at his booth. I'm like, oh, wow, hey, how's it going? And I was like, I just bought this book. How much do you charge for signatures? And he said, nothing. And he just signed it for me. I was like, wow, man, that's so humbling. He had his prints there. He was selling his prints for decently cheap. I think I bought a print off of him because he signed I think it was $5. I think I bought a print off of him for $5 just because he signed my book for free. Thought that was really awesome. So that was my first time meeting him, and to have it be that kind of experience was very humbling. White Widow. I do believe I have White Widow #1. And I was pulling it in my previous orders from Midtown, but then I don't know what happened, but I was starting to miss the issue, so I never read the first issue. But I was wanting to read that. Nice. Cat 286. Is that the Streets of Poison? No, that's a little later, huh? The 286 is more of his earlier stuff. Oh, that's Zek. Yeah, I'm thinking of Ron Lim. Yeah, 286. 286, is that the one where he's coming? Captain America's coming at the... That might be the print that I have. No, I have 275. I have 275 signed by Ron Lim, the print that is, the 11x17 print. Apple says, Jim Lee drew me a Joker. Awesome. Ricky Spanish says, do I know Mozzie? The rapper, Mozzie? I know a lot of local rappers, ironically, but I don't believe I ever met Mozzie. I like his work, if we're talking about the rapper from SAC. But actually, for SAC rappers, I linked up with a few SAC rappers. Met T Nutty and Brother Lynch Hung. Almost did some work with Brother Lynch Hung, but it never happened. X-Rated was a big influence on me growing up. J Cross says, my close friend has 3 copies of Infinity Gauntlet. 2 are signed by Perez. That's a good book with a good signature. Absolutely. Moon Knight, not since I showed off my #1 that I got. I don't think I got any. I don't think I've gotten any more Moon Knights. Yeah. Mozzie's dope. My son likes Mozzie too. He's kind of a throwback, you know. Um, he's got a lot of kind of I look at Mozzie as kind of like a mixture of like some old school SIBO with some Nipsey Hussle. Kid Collector, thank you, man. Brother Lynch, yeah, man. I really wish I got to work with him. If you guys want to check out my music, check out onyoz.com. That's onyoz.com. Yeah, I made music with JT the Bigger Figure and San Quinn, Jacka, rest in peace, Mob Figures, Wu Tang, Hieroglyphics, Zion I, Living Legends, um, man, Boot Camp Click, Smith and Wesson, Dead Prez, The Outlaws, Tupac's Outlaws. It's been a minute, man. It's been, I stepped away when I moved out of the Bay Area and came out this way. Took a bit of a step back from the music, and here we are focusing on comic books today. So I can't complain. Jacka, man, yeah, Jacka was a real humble dude, man. That's another shame. Um, let's see. I bought a McFarlane book. Turns out it was signed on the first page, and you didn't know Nordstrom, so you bought the book and not knowing that it was signed. That's what I'm taking from that. Whew, man. Kid Collector says you're an artist, comic collector, music creator. How much is enough for you? Oh, let's see. Yeah, man. I mean, like, a man of many hats type of thing. And I think the way to look at it is like it's that artistic. I think a lot of us have artistic abilities, and we don't dive into them. But I look at all this stuff as art. I mean, music, writing. I write as well, and music, writing, creating that art, drawing. It's all art. It's all art form. And comics are such an art. Comics are drawing art and written art, and when you blend those two things together, it's amazing. But music, yeah, music's always been my first love, man. And Jay Cross says, what do I do for work? So right now I'm actually an educator. I just graduated. So I was heavily into the music, and I was signed by a record label out of Oakland before I moved out here. And I did that. I actually quit my day job. I was a manager at Pete's Coffee at that point in time, and I quit my day job and I started doing my music. And I started, for 2 years basically, and got to just kind of live the dream for a minute, have my little 15 minutes, as they say, and life kind of hit a rocky road. Not because of the music, just because of other stuff that I won't get into. And I had to make a decision to leave the Bay Area. We were living in Richmond. And my kids were starting school, and I didn't want them growing up in that environment. So I moved out towards Sacramento and kind of put the music on hold. So I ended up going back to school, and I got 3 degrees. I got an associate's degree in business and ended up getting my bachelor's in business management, but also got a degree in social and behavioral sciences. And then from there, I just wanted to get into a decent job with a business degree, right? Because I'm very business minded. I ran while I was going to school. I ran a merchandising company, and actually I ran a merchandising company for artists. I ran Hieroglyphics merchandising, Devin the Dude, Collie Buds, reggae artists, and was pretty successful doing that. So I ended up creating my own clothing line and doing that for a few years. And then when I graduated, I kind of wanted to stick with something like that would be good money to use my business degree for, but the market was just I couldn't get a job. It was crazy. And I feel like, and then I started applying for like fast food stuff, and I couldn't get hired doing that. Or like coffee, like, because I did retail management before. I was a manager of a Sprint store when I first moved out here. And I couldn't get anything because I feel like we live in a climate right now where it's like either you're overqualified, or if you have the qualifications, like to do any type of business work, they want you to have like 20 years experience on top of your degree and all this crap. So I felt like I was in a rock and a hard place. But when I was back in school, I was inspired to be an educator of some sort. And I had an amazing English teacher for 3 semesters, and I really studied creative writing and got heavily into my writing. And I almost changed my major into being an English major, but I wanted to keep the business major. So long story short, I ended up getting a job at a local school district, doing a intramural sports director position, and I also coach. Like I coach, I've coached Little League baseball, and I coach little youth basketball. So I was able to be a sports director at an elementary school, and I got my foot in the door to then pick up a para position, which is a language English language teacher. And right now, though, because of the pandemic, my sports instructor position is gone. I was laid off, and it does not exist because obviously nobody's in school. We're doing distance learning, and that sucks. But I still have my English language job that I'm teaching from home over distance learning, but it's not full time because of the way that it works. But my goal right now is to continue on this path and continue on the path of being an educator. I want to get certified so I can teach high school English. So that's my goal, because when I was in high school, I had a rough go of it. I went down a very dark path, and I had an English teacher in 10th grade and 12th grade. Her name was Miss Reelingale, and rest in peace, bless her soul. She passed a couple years ago due to cancer. Cancer, man. And I realized later on, hindsight, that she helped save my life. And I want to be in a position to where I can teach these teenagers and these young kids and help be a role model to them, to inspire them once they graduate out of high school and become adults. So that's my goal. I'm going to keep pushing towards that for sure. So thank you for asking that question, and thank you for allowing me to kind of go on that rant and tell a little more about myself that's outside of comic books. So I live in Sacramento, California. Davo asked the question about Third and Fourth Prince. Davo, if you haven't checked out our comic book canon show, the link is below. Go give us a sub over there. We're going live in just over an hour. We have a special guest, Matt Forge from Pressable Defects, who is going to be discussing second, third, and fourth Prince. So check that out. I won't give anything else away. You guys got to tune into the show to see. Power of the pen, exactly. Yeah, there's so much we could do with writing for sure. Daniel is coming from all the way from Germany. Thank you so much. 1:52 in the morning, I'm assuming, on some late night. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Ricky asked what some of my favorite indie comics. Honestly, Ricky, I can't lie here and say that I'm extremely knowledgeable of indie comics, but when and I know it's tough it's crazy when we think of Image is an indie, right, or IDW, but when you think outside of the big two, obviously Spawn, and then I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, so anything that's being produced that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle related, obviously IDW has had control. Transformers has been under IDW, and I haven't read a whole lot, but I've read enough to have liked a lot of that I've read. I've collected some Red Sonja, some Dynamite Red Sonja. I collect the Betty Page stuff, but that's just more for the art. I've only read like 2 issues of Betty Page. It's not really, I don't know. Didn't really get into the story, but I like Betty Page as a pinup, and I like having her variant covers. I think that's kind of cool. Retro stuff. So the most independent stuff that I've read over the last few years or so has been like limited series, like or mini series. Some of it I've really enjoyed, and some of it I'm like, this is just so weird, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with independence. I have a ton of independence in my to read box that I just haven't gotten to yet because I do so much trying to catch up with like most of my Marvel stuff. I've been slacking on my DC reading as well. Nick and Comics, thank you for the good luck wishes. I appreciate that. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate it. Kid Collector says he loves listening to my origin story. I like it. I appreciate you calling it my origin story. Oh, if you really want to get into my origin story, there's so much. There's so much there. Maybe you know what? Maybe we can do that one day if you guys are interested in just learning about a little about myself. I always say I appreciate you guys allowing me the platform just to come on here and talk. You know, it's humbling. It's humbling to know that my voice and the things that I have to say are willing or is important enough for people to listen, and I really do appreciate that. So I think maybe we'll do maybe next week. I'll think about doing a live stream, maybe, a basic Q&A, but have it more about like get to know me, and I can talk about, kind of some life stories outside of comic books. It's a bit gritty and grimy. It's a lot of up and down, but I like to share my story in hopes to like inspire folks. That's what it's all about. So Don, the man, is in the building. What's going on, Don, comic book junkie? Thank you so much for stopping by, man. In a couple minutes, guys, I'm going to hop over to the Boy Who Had Seven's live stream. And then again, guys, in 1 hour, come check us out on Comic Book Canon, link below. Let me just get to a few more of these comments, and then I'll be signing off here, guys. Daniel says, pretty cool stuff to hear. I appreciate that. Let's see. Don says, last time I was called Donnie was 41 years ago when I played soccer. Yeah, I was called Donnie. Like a year ago, I was in a grocery store, and some woman thought I was Donnie Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg's brother that was part of New Kids on the Block. Yeah, funny stuff, right? I've gotten that a couple times, actually. Mike Sears, before I log off, man, I want to hear something positive from you today. Drop us something in the comments. Let me hear something positive. What's going on that you can share that's positive, Mike? I want to hear it from you. All right, Raider Bear coaches a rugby team. Thanks for hopping on, Raider Bear. Man, it's so awesome to hear that you guys got rugby going on right now, because we are still shut down with sports. Sucks. Yasmin, number one. I'll take note of that. Wow, the Teenage Mutant Turtle Power Ranger crossover. So I don't even know if I have any of those issues, but I was thinking about that. My son loves Power Rangers too, and I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I was thinking about trying to hop on those. I saw some of the variants too, and they were dope. Yeah, Apple, I can't wait to get my Last Ronin book. I pre-ordered that. Not sure when it's going to come. Kid Collector, talking about that live stream. Thank you, man. I'll definitely plan for that. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Again, we are 59 minutes away from Comic Book Canon. Link below. Come check us out. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, just join it today. Please don't forget to give me a sub. Have a good Friday, guys. Hope to see you in an hour. And outside of that, have a good weekend. Be safe. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourselves. Thank you for watching. And until next time.